We're at the second iteration of the revamped Saturday Night's main event, and we kick off the show in style with the Intercontinental Championship match between Sheamus and Braun Breaker. And the match, of course, is an absolute banger. Both men bring their A-game, but only one warrior can stand tall, and it's looking like it could be Sheamus as he looks for a bro kick, although Braun ducks, then he looks for a spear, but then Sheamus counters that, and with both men startled after the exchange, they then both start slugging it out of one another. One shall stand, and one shall fall. And the man to fall is Sheamus, but he doesn't yield that easily, as he demands for Braun to bring it, which he of course does, and the beatdown nearly keeps him down for the free, although Sheamus survives. So Braun looks for the killing blow, he lines him up for another spear, although yet again, Sheamus counters, then he puts Braun into the corner, sets him up on the turnbuckle, then he nails an avalanche white noise. But the next big thing won't go down that easily, he stays in the fight, so Sheamus looks for a bro kick, although Braun once again ducks, although he then hurls him onto the apron, then unbelievably spears him to the outside. Sheamus is writhing around in pain, although Braun then gets an idea. As once Sheamus stirs, Braun begins to sprint. He's gonna wipe Sheamus out, and he does just that with another spear. The Celtic Warrior is done, and Braun knows it, as he puts him in the ring, then goes into the cover. No! Braun can't believe it! Sheamus is still kicking, but for how much longer? As Braun starts to call for him to get to his feet for one more spear. But as he looks for it, Sheamus nails a bro kick out of nowhere. Is Braun gonna be the one done? No! Sheamus isn't a Grand Slam champion just yet, so he does the same thing Braun did. He lines the champ up, but just like Sheamus did, Braun manages to counter and connect a spear out of nowhere. But Braun is done. That was his last gas. Although after what feels like an eternity, both men start to stir, and they start to trade strikes. This is their last stand, but Braun stuns Sheamus, so he rebounds for one more spear, although Sheamus catches him with a knee, but Braun immediately gets up, although he gets put straight back down with another brogue. Sheamus has done it! He is now a Grand Slam champion! Everyone is elated at this! Sheamus has finished his own story! It's a humongous way to kick off the show! But what's next? Well, before the next match, we get something no one asked for. Hulk Hogan is here! But before he can even say a word, he gets jumped by Jacob Fatu. Fatu doesn't want to wait for his match with Braun Strowman any longer, as he drags Hulk Hogan to the ring, puts him in the middle of the squared circle, but before he can inflict any more damage, Braun Strowman arrives, so Jacob Fatu tosses out the Hall of Famer before launching himself at the monster of all monsters. The brawl is on, and the referee decides to ring the bell. The match is underway, but both Braun and Jacob don't seem to care, as they continue brawling all around ringside, although Fatu manages to get on top and sends him into the steel steps. Then he puts Strowman into the ring and starts to dominate. He hits huge power moves again and again as if Braun is a cruiserweight, but he isn't, and he tries to fight back, although Jacob turns his comeback down as he continues connecting big moves on a big man. It's looking hopeless for Braun, because it is, as Jacob manages to connect an unbelievable pop-up Samoan drop before going to the top rope and connecting a moonsault. Yet Jacob isn't done. He wants to make an example out of Strowman, so he hits another and another, and with a fourth moonsault, Fatu mercifully ends the match. Jacob Fatu has proven that he is the true monster of all monsters, yet he isn't satisfied with just a win, as he grabs a chair and starts swinging it into Strowman relentlessly. The monster among men needs help, and help does indeed arrive, although it's not from who you'd expect, as Hukuleo comes out of nowhere, although he stops. Then he goes and grabs a chair, and he too then starts to assault Braun Strowman. Everyone is stunned, and in the end, the new blood of the bloodline stand tall over a demasculated Braun Strowman. Although up next is a battle of titans, as Rhea Ripley has to defend the Women's World Championship against Nia Jax. And Jax tells Ripley to bring it, which she does with a brutal headbutt. Then with the strength of Hercules, Rhea German suplexes Nia across the ring. Jax is being manhandled by Rhea, although the Queen of the Ring fights back with a neat little temple before taking her down. Now it's Nia Jax who is in control of the match, and it stays that way throughout the majority of the contest, as every time Rhea tries to mount a comeback, Jax almost instantly shuts it down. It's looking bleak for the champ, but no matter what gets thrown at her, Rhea sticks in the fight. Although Jax tests Ripley's endurance as she wipes her out at every turn, no matter what Rhea does. But the champ just won't quit, so Nia looks for a Samoan drop, but with a few well-timed elbows to the face, Rhea gets out of it before dropping Jax with a boot. Then Rhea looks to make her opponent give up as she locks in a prism trap. Jax has nowhere to go, although she manages to roll out of the submission before clocking her with a backhand, which rocks Rhea to her core. And Jax takes full advantage of this as she manages to connect a leg drop, although Rhea kicks out a 2. So Jax looks for a powerbomb, although Rhea manages to counter the move, and subsequently she connects a riptide. But Jax manages to kick out. Rhea can't believe it, although as she picks her up, Jax nails a cheap shot onto her as if it was a last-ditch effort for survival, which it turns out to be her last stand, as Rhea floors her with a kick before putting Nia onto the top rope and connecting an avalanche riptide. Rhea has won. She has defeated Nia Jax. It's a great way to start Rhea's second reign as Women's World Champion. But can Jey Uso stand tall and win his first World Championship against Gunther? While the match is on and Jey is going 100 miles an hour onto the ring general, he even sends the champ out the ring and then proceeds to dive onto him not once, but twice. Jey Uso was on fire, but as he looks for a third dive, he gets stopped dead in his tracks by a brutal lariat, and Gunther then just toys with Jey. He demands for him to be more than just a good tag team wrestler, and he proves just that, as he manages to fight back with a series of strikes. He even attempts a super kick, although Gunther counters and takes main event Jey Uso down. Then Gunther starts to target Jey's leg. It's a genius strategy by the champ, although Jey pushes back, but as both men get up, Jey gets folded in half by a gruesome chop. Then Gunther goes back to the leg as he attempts a half Boston Crab, although Jey almost instantaneously gets out of the hold. And as both men get to their feet once again, Jey manages to connect the spear out of thin air, but that doesn't keep Gunther down. So Jey goes to the top rope. He's going for a splash, but Gunther moves, then drops him with a big boot before climbing to the top rope. He's going for his own splash, although as he leaps off, he gets nearly decapitated by a super kick out of nowhere. But Gunther breaks everyone's hearts as he rolls to the outside. His ring awareness may have saved his world title reign, as Jey desperately puts him into the ring, then climbs to the top rope. But his leg is his own worst enemy, as he's too slow to hit another splash, as Gunther sends Jey into the center of the ring. Then as quick as a flash, he plants Jey with a powerbomb, but somehow, someway, Jey Uso finds a way to kick out a 2. Gunther is beside himself with rage, although he channels that rage back to the leg, as he finally manages to lock in the half Boston Crab. Jey is screaming in pain, but he refuses to tap, although Gunther amplifies the pressure more and more, which brings out Sami Zayn. He's becoming worried for his Uso, and Gunther arrogantly says, "This either ends when he gives up, or you throw in the towel. And so I don't snap his leg, I'd recommend ending the match for your own Uso's sake, Sami." But Jey bites back and screams, "No! Sami, please! Please don't, I can fight back." Zayn is at a crossroads. He doesn't know what to do, although he's forced to make a decision, and he does throw in the towel. He may have just saved Jey from being injured, although in doing so, he has allowed Gunther to once again retain the World Heavyweight Championship. It's heartbreak for Jey Uso. He was so close to becoming champion, yet so far. But regardless, it's now time for the final act of the evening. It's time for the Royal Rumble contract signing between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, which is being moderated by the showstopper. And with both titles hanging above the ring, Cody says, "Kevin, at the Royal Rumble, this ends. And whether you or I retrieve them championships, I am done with your So I requested an addition to the contract. Whoever loses at the Royal Rumble cannot challenge for the WWE Championship for the rest of 2025. It's a bombshell dropped by Cody Rhodes, and Shawn Michaels then asks for KO to sign the contract, and he replies, yeah, sure, fine, whatever makes you happy, Cody. But I just want you to know, as I'm signing the dotted line, something that I think you really need to hear right now before our match is that Dusty would be ashamed of you." And Kevin Owens grabs the table and launches it at the WWE Champion. Shawn is furious. He's demanding for Owens to back up, although Owens gets a different and much darker idea.